Good day everyone, welcome to Keystone English. My name is Key and I will be your host and instructor for this series. When learning a new language, it's almost guaranteed that you won't have a clue how to pronounce the new words and sounds. Therefore, over 120 years ago, a group of British and French linguists created the IPA, otherwise known as the International Phonetic Alphabet. This set of letters and symbols creates a universal key, which, once memorized, can teach people how to pronounce words they don't already know. Chances are, if you've studied academic English, you've already encountered the IPA. But to review, all languages can be broken up into a series of sound units, or phonemes. The English language is composed of approximately 24 consonant phonemes and 21 vowel phonemes. To better teach them, I would like to introduce the proprioceptive method. The proprioceptive method is a learning technique where instead of focusing on your listening, you instead focus on your mouth parts. I explain the reasons why the proprioceptive method is better for learning in the methodology section. But in this episode of pronunciation, let's just focus on how to say phonemes. The first thing to remember is that phonemes require a specific shape to your mouth in order to make the correct sounds. This is known as mouth placement or mouth formation. The mouth is composed of 4 different parts: the lips, the teeth, the tongue, and the air. Again, lips, teeth, tongue, and air. Phonemes are broken up into consonant sounds, foam, and vowel sounds, wingam. Consonant sounds, again, are broken up into voiced and voiceless sounds. Voiced sounds have air coming from the neck, while voiceless sounds have air coming from the chest. A good example is the voiced D sound and the voiceless T sound. Most consonant sounds come in pairs, where the 3 mouth parts, the lips, the teeth, and the tongue, remain the same. The only thing that changes is the source of the air, whether it is voiced or voiceless. Confused? Consonant sounds are usually the hardest thing for Vietnamese learners to pick up. Let's start with the first consonant sound in English, B. Start by closing your lips and then opening them quickly. B. You do not need to use your teeth or your tongue for the sound. Since it's a voice sound, the air should come from your neck. If you aren't sure where the air is coming from, cross your arms and rest them against your chest. This is called the chest bounce test. When you say the sound B, your arms will not move very much because the air is coming from your neck, not your chest. Try saying the word bay. Next, try saying the word pay with a P sound. If you say this correctly, your arms will bounce up because the sound is voiceless and coming from your stomach. The problem originates from the Vietnamese word bin, from name bin. Because it's spelled this way, Vietnamese people believe that it is the correct pronunciation for the P sound. In fact, when saying the English word bin and the Vietnamese word bin, you can tell from the chest bounce test that both are voiced. Pause the video and try it yourself using the words bay and pay. If both create the same result for the chest bounce test, one of them is wrong. Most of the time, the error is with pay. Though your lips are doing the correct action, the source of air is from the wrong place. In order to say this sound correctly, your stomach muscles need to move strongly enough in order for your arms to feel it. Pa. The fact is, most Vietnamese people cannot tell the difference between the B and P sounds. That's natural because there's no P sound in the Vietnamese language. So instead, try focusing on your mouth placement until you can easily and rapidly switch between the air coming from your neck and the air coming from your chest. This is the foundation of the proprioceptive method, focusing on your physical body rather than invisible audio. Once you've learned how to make the B and P phonemes, you'll have a better understanding of how to make all the other consonant phonemes. Let's try out the next consonant pair, D and T. When saying D, your lips are open, your teeth are open, your air is coming from your neck, and your tongue is touching your upper teeth. Similarly, the T sound requires your lips to be open, your teeth to be open, and your tongue to touch your upper teeth. The only difference is the source of the air. If you mute the audio and just look at my mouth alone, you won't be able to tell the difference. I know this is a lot to take in, but this episode focuses on 3 main points. First, you were introduced to the proprioceptive method, which focuses on how to move and shape your mouth parts rather than listening to invisible audio. Secondly, you learned the importance of voiced and voiceless sounds and how to distinguish them through the chest bounce test. Finally, consonant phoneme pairs are sounds which share the same formation for lips, teeth, and tongue, but differ in their source of air. This provides a good foundation for our next lessons, which will go more in depth in how to make each phoneme pair. That's it for now. This is Key signing off from Keystone English. Remember our motto of the day: pronunciation comes from the mouth.